can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Hey chat, sorry, I'm working out some technical issues. Weird things are happening. So for whatever reason, Restreams isn't working at all.
Dirtisan just resubscribed for 3 months.
You don't believe me? Okay, Led, whatever. Lead. So I can see YouTube, and it's for some reason, like I tried to stream to YouTube earlier, and it fucking went about 2 minutes and then crashed for whatever reason. So like there's something funky going on with YouTube. All right. Welcome everybody. Oh, it'd help if I turn on the camera. Welcome everybody. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? Yes, I am actually playing Star Citizen 1.0 and hiding it from you. That is in fact exactly what's going on. Try this real quick. Okay, so the YouTube for see if that's coming through. It is. So the podcast YouTube is working, so that should be fine. But like, okay, okay, okay. Oh fuck. Chilling at work because this cold day, waiting to see if anything exciting happens. Oh God. Good luck, bud. How you doing, Nix Libra? When's the next pub chat? Oh, like everyone together? It's gonna be the beginning of February, sometime the first week or second week of February. Yes, it is my partnerversary, technically, still. I have been a partner for 9 years. I'll be 10 years as of 2027. I became a partner when I was 29. So, yeah. Is crafting scheduled for 0.7? We don't know, possibly. We know 0.6 is going to be in March. Or I'm sorry, 0.7 is going to be in March. 0.8 will be in May.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Okay.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Your insurance claim has... Thank you. Please visit us.
Super busy. Haven't been able to get much time in the lamp stuff. Looks cool. Lamp stuff was great. It's exactly what people have been wanting. No, I was just getting set it up on my side because it's basically me going to go reclaim a ship and then waiting for it. Yep. That's what we're doing right now there, Access, Kim and I. We're making crockpot chili, but the same with beans. Because I refuse to make Texas chili. I love a lot of things about Texas cuisine. But Texas chili makes no goddamn sense. That's just beef soup.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No PPUs.
But you can never,
Never.
ever.
Oh yeah, I should probably change that too. Thank you. It also has the wrong title. Sorry.
Ramim_noodle just resubscribed for 22 months.
Something's weird going on. Thank you so much, Ramim. Come on. There we go. I have to hit it like 7 different times. There we go. There we go. Helping those orphans today? I plan to, yeah, that's the plan. Why is there a fucking haze in here? That everyone else has seen that, right? Like a haze?
Yeah, sure.
That's fucking weird. So beef and beans stew. Exactly. Chili is a stew, but you wouldn't call it chili with just beef. Besides, I got spoiled because my wife makes Skyline chili, so it's not just beef and bean stew. It's beef and bean stew served with spaghetti. So it's sort of like a... Is goulash the right word? It's sort of a pasta dish. I'm around, but you might want to alternate. I am going to be alternating. We're going to be doing combat in 2026. I have 2 folks who are going to be on. I've got Bops, Nonstop Bops, who I'm hoping still remembers that he's supposed to be on because it's going to be incredibly early in the morning for him. I'm going to invite him real quick. Hold on. Are we delaying today? No. No, we are not. Where are you at? Captain's table. Kick. Nonstop Bops, and it's Raptor. There we go. Oop, Raptor X. There we go. It's a type of chili. No, goulash is not the right word. Goulash is meat chunks, not minced meat. Oh, okay.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
34 seconds, almost time.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Ragu. Is it a ragu? Something set on fire, I bet. I mean, possibly. It's just weird that it's not working for YouTube on the Astro Puppet or working on the captain's table. Just like, okay. As long as it's meat things with meat with things, it's food. It's a food thing. The secret of chili has always been the spices you use, because the ingredients, no matter what type of chili you make, is pretty basic. Beans with beef. Or just beef with like tomato sauce. Typically, I think even with the Texas chili, it's with tomato sauce. So it's usually pretty like simple as a meal. The key is the spices. What makes a chili is the spices. Turkey chili? Ah, sweet, good. Thank you, Thorn. No, I meant that weird haze. I bet it was a firebug. It might be. CIG loves their freaking, what do they call them? They're like fogs. They put fog in fucking everything.
To the ASOP
All right.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
Sister Superior. Ticia, what shall we do today? Is Daymar Rally the why production is so slow? Production? No. Not from on my end. PvP missions. That's too large. I don't think I have enough space for that. 60, 90, 120. Yeah, it's way too big. Besides, I can get pretty good there with this. They're all going to Chawas? Okay. Pretty much everything here is get stuff from local area in Stanton and then head to Pyro. All right. When are me and Bob's doing the mech podcast? Well, that's a good question. I would love, Bob sounded like he wanted to do it on his stream, which I'm down for, but I'm also completely down to do a Captain Stable talking about that. Because I can also bring other mech focused folks like Loken in to talk a little bit about that detail as well. There's enough of us crossover of Mech Warrior fans and Star Citizen fans to really like hammer into it. Because like, for real, chat, and I this is important for those of you who don't play Mech Warrior. You should. Mech Warrior 5 is super cheap. You can get Mech Warrior 5 and the entire, like, all of its expansions. Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries and all of the expansions for like $60 maximum, $60. Plus, it's got full mod support. It's really good. For the price you pay now, it's fucking fantastic. Oh, you're talking to Darj. Okay. Unless you're talking to me about production. Like, man, I don't know. Going straight up, it looks like. What's the closest one? Looks like the closest one is right over here. How's Star Citizen for me? I just got in, so I couldn't tell you, but generally, I think it's fine. Now, I don't know what server I'm on. Doesn't look like I'm on the Daymar Rally server, so we should be fine. Put down the drinks, sir. Find out the servers have gone back up. Yeah. Well, I imagine typically because the Daymar Rally is pretty pretty well known that CIG almost certainly has people on staff, like some of the folks who are regularly on. I fucking love this song. I would kill for Lamp right now. Because I can't see shit. Nice tie, thank you. Looks like I'm about 1 kilometer away. Looks like there might be some big structures that are blocking. Holy fuck, that's a lot of processed food. I want to guess that this is where we go? Wait. This is where I think it is? Is this... Alright, I've got to do third person so I don't hit this guy. That's right way up. Thank you, Mopar. We'll be doing our partnerversary celebration on next Saturday. It looks like I might be able to get Darj in early to an early captain's table. So I'm going to tell X that I'm going to be streaming our part 1 tier review. There's no splashes. There should be some splashes. We don't see them quite yet. I do like the fact it's getting wet. There should be some splashes. Yeah, talking about social tools. Basically, we're gonna have to like start the captain's table at like (5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Probably more like 4 p.m. Eastern, which is like 9 p.m., 8 or 9 p.m. GMT. Oh shit, I don't have a fucking... descending back down. I forgot that I wasn't set up for this. I have to go get myself a You gonna shoot with your P4? Yeah. Yeah, but we'll be talking about org tools. And then Andy will have more input about org tools. I'm more about a solo player's perspective. All right, it's stored. It's fine. Well, I gotta go get. This is the outfit I managed to scavenge together for. No, this is a like a what is it called? Reclamation disposal. This is Orinth. I recognize the garbage heaps. This is Orinth. They changed Orinth a lot, but oh yeah, killed my first Apex Valatar today, alone or with group. That's awesome. Oh, you were with Imperial Arms, right? Yeah, I heard them talking about it when we were doing Helldivers. How you all lost a bunch of teeth. There we go. He's roll too. Might be Hurl 1. I got my stuff stored somewhere. See, the problem that CIG has right now isn't that they can't make interesting gameplay. They can. Like, the Apex Valacar fight is fun, and it's interesting and intriguing, and it requires a lot of cooperation and effort. The problem is that you can do all of that work and effort, and someone can just snipe it from you. So it's not really a PvP or PvE event. It's a PvP event. So a lot of people don't want to put in the work and effort to do it if they can just get sniped. So you can't really do it with 4 people. You have to do it with, like, 8. Otherwise, people will show up with 8 and just steal your shit anyways. And at the same time, and that's if you're lucky, someone will steal it from you. Most of the time, it'll just fucking fail. Like, things will bug out. You can't get access to things. You lose, like, the teeth or the pearls or whatever. So you have to do the missions with a high number of people in order to protect yourself against vandals.
Please proceed to assign.
But if you're doing it with high enough people, you won't be able to get any of the rewards for it. Because there'll be too many people who needs rewards and not enough, like, resources. Man, I use the Freelancer all the time. It is my go-to daily driver. The Freelancer Max is one of the best ships in the game. If CIG updates the Freelancer's interior a little bit to make it a little bit better, give it things like lamp and stuff, no joke, it is one of the best ships in the game. It's small enough to hit most places. What am I doing? I'm just gonna go straight in. Should probably just turn around though. They need troopers and ship, like the Spirit. Yeah. Yeah, the exterior is fine. The interior needs a little bit of rework. They already have, like you have the components. So it has components. It just needs maybe like a slight pass on the like materials, but its actual shape and size is fine. It's actually great. Its size is great. There we go. Good now. Oh, yeah. No, Jin and I are of one mind on this one. This is stupid. This should be remote. Let me do a walkthrough and show you the changes that need to happen. This should be remote. Remove this dumb fucking thing. Change it to a remote so it's a little bit easier to access. This is all fine. This is going to be removed anyways because this doesn't exist really anymore. So either make the sides like docking ports like you have with other things and then just remove this, or turn this into more crew space. Remove the cargo area. Because if you remove this as a cargo area, and make either content or like components here or like a doorway here. This area back here, this whole region is about enough space because right now it doesn't exist. But if you remove this section for the turret, this increases almost the exact amount you need that would actually be held in here in this grid. So it's almost 1-to-1. You could remove this, and if you remove this back section here, which you can't support stuff because it's supposed to be for turret access, you put it there, it's almost perfect. Then here, you've got an engineering terminal here as well, but like this is a shoilet, which is fine. This could easily be turned into something more. This was originally sort of like a kitchen thing. You could easily turn this into like a kitchen thing if you need to. Remove one of these bunk beds, replace it with what is it? The weapon rack and a suit lockers. You can put two suit lockers here and a weapon rack. Perfect. You can even extend it out a little bit more because you can get rid of these two seats to just have these two seats in the front. And these, you could extend this forward so that it's a little bit more, it meets with the living quarters. You can add a little bit more stuff here. Oh yeah, weapons are on the other side of that wall. I mean, you could also, if you get rid of these and extend this out, you could remove this whole section, expand this out so that it's a actual like docking collar and or exit. So it's actually big enough so you could pull stuff in through this doorway here. And that would still give you enough space for you to add a bunch of stuff here and even like some like, oh yeah, or like this is beds and like stuff here so you can add like suit lockers, gun lockers, and maybe like a food fab or something like that. Nah, I don't think you're gonna reduce that. It's fine as it is. Oh yeah, and that middle section you can get cargo there, but if you remove that cargo grid and make it something else, like you could make that a food cargo area, or a food area, or a food production area, or storage lockers, or suit lockers, or weapons racks. That whole area could do anything for utility that you wanted it to do, because they wanted to get rid of the vertical airlocks. They got rid of the vertical ones on the Cutlass, and they've been moving away from that for a while. So that room sort of just doesn't make a lot of sense. So if you replace it with some sort of utility, and you make the secondary, the gun in the back, this gun right here, that one right there, a remote turret, controllable by the co-pilot, then you can own that whole area in there has more cargo capacity, so it makes it a little bit easier. It's just small tweaks. Otherwise, it's fine. I know it's not small, but it's so insignificant that I'm sure that CIG wouldn't actually do it until there was time for them to do it between other projects. Yeah, basically what I just said is exactly what Jin's post on Spectrum says. I think we disagree on a couple of points, but the main point is this is a two-seater ship, a two crew ship, not a four.
Thank you.
Even in their own metrics, that rear turret should be remote. I mean, I think you could do a Freelancer Mark II, but you don't really need to do a Mark II with this one. The exterior holds up fine. It's already in the paint schemes. We already know how it works. It already has components inside of it, unlike the F7 Mark Is. It already has, all of them have components. So it's just a matter of bringing it up to the gold standard of what it should be, which means removing those two extra seats and those two extra beds, which frees up for more space for other things. And taking this doorway here, which is right by the gun, expanding it out a little bit more and making it a little bit more of a maybe like a docking collar similar to the one on the Intrepid. But the cockpit is fine. Like, this is fine. Just in general is okay. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you know, it's fine. The whole piece is going to be pretty quick. It sounds like it's going to be here probably the next couple months. The whole AB already has the door docking collar you mentioned too. Yeah, it's an easy swap that part out. It's probably not perfect, but like I said, everything that they need to do with the Freelancer, they could do in like a month, like a patch cycle. But it would require them to go through all of the Freelancers and make them work. And I imagine CIG also wants to make the DUR work specifically, which has its own unique fuel mechanics. So they're probably being like, it's not really worth the effort we're doing right now, because we still have to go back and get that fixed. So there's not a lot of point in fixing everything that's wrong with it, only to then have to continue to fix it later. Yeah, Orinth. And the full platform outage has very suspicious timing. Oh, I'm not doing I'm not doing Daymar Rally, no. One day I will do a Daymar Rally, but we'll see. Hey, Dennis, how you doing? Am I excited about the crafting tier 0? I played a little bit of it. I am, but we're going to talk about it in the combat captain's table today. We're definitely going to be talking about how I think crafting is going to be one of those things this year that's going to piss off a lot of combat folks. PvP and PvE alike are not going to like the change, because it's really starting to force PvE players to either learn to become industrial players or find people who are industrial players that they can work with. Your average org of people who are PvP players are like probably just like, that's fine, like, because they don't care. It's like, I already work with other people. Working with a bunch of bobs isn't my issue. I predict the bobs give me stuff. That's how this relationship should always have worked. Yeah, it's gonna make solo players a little bit more uncomfortable, because now you have to play things you don't want to play if you want to keep up with the Joneses, but Bobverse, we are Bob. Yeah. Yeah, when they have like repair and refuel, especially if anybody in lore wants to do a Daymar Rally run, I'm down to help out. I'm down to sponsor. Sun's rising. Barely tell though. Well, it's because it was raining. I think it's still got a bit of a rain going on. Yep, still raining. The fact that I cannot hear the rain in first person is also a problem. That's something that definitely needs to be addressed before 1.0. Since we've got a whole A here, I'll demonstrate a little bit on what I'm talking about when I talk about the they don't need to make a single-player server. They just need to load their fleets into their single-player Squadron 42 world.
You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No PPUs.
But you can
Never.
ever take away my space game.
Rubensaurus just resubscribed for 36 months.
Thank you for that 36 months of support there, Ruben. You're very important, Papa, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This is your fault. There's Run Trigger Night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Daymar Orphan Race Team. Ah, they took so many detours mid-race though. Hey, don't question Our Lady of the Dead Saints. So this right here is what I'm talking about. Give the freelancer something like that. It would fit too. If I can get there over there, 60, like right here, yeah. See, like that would definitely fit over this. You definitely need to make some room on this side, though. So this is why you need to remove some of the stuff on this side, including the beds. But you don't need the extra beds. Thank you, Vesmumpui. Is that German? Hey, congrats on the partner anniversary. Thank you. I've been a partner for 9 years as of yesterday/today. I was literally streaming when I got my partner return, where they said I was a partner. They said I became a partner at the beginning of January, but they didn't actually activate my partnership until the end of January. The PvE PvP question just had a weird solution occur to me. When Squadron 42 comes out and the series with it, CIG should make it so you can load your Star Citizen fleet into single player. They won't. I do think that CIG is missing a trick by not planning a Star Citizen privateer. A single-player game set in the Star Citizen universe using Star Citizen mechanics. I think they're still bugged, yes. Yeah, excuse me. But again, that's just a matter of, I'm sure there are other beds like this. I think like there's a similar bed in the Prospector they could probably steal and use in here. It's a matter of just updating the interior, really, is what I'm saying. My point is, with some exterior. With 4.6 loading screen talking about FTL comms, I wonder if they intended for social tools to be part of 4.7. Possibly, though. Remember, we had updates on elements of the the regen crisis as early as like January, February of last year, but we didn't actually see the resource rush. I see the resource rush, but the any of the like story elements that would comply in like the events and such for the regen crisis until like July. So it was several months. I think the earliest we'd see the social tools would be 4.8 or 4.9. And before anyone goes, well, what's going to happen after 4.9? 4.10? Well, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to fucking make sense. It's a goddamn patch name. They're not going to go 5.0, chat. They'll go 4.8, 4.9, 4.10, 4.11, 4.12, so on and so forth. There will be no 5.0. There will be a beta. Because the full name of the patch cycle is Star Citizen Alpha 4.6. So when they leave Star Citizen 4.6, when they leave Alpha to Beta, it will be going from Star Citizen 4.something, Alpha 4.something, to Star Citizen Beta 0.08 or 0.09 or 0.1 or whatever. Haha. 420, the return of the smoke. Yeah. Just like 3.9 to 3.10. Yep.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space.
I'll have 3 number 9s, a number 11, 2 number 7s.
Ever.
You said return to the smoke. Yeah, they're just labels.
Joypop_ just
A number 9 large. Yeah.
months.
Thank you so much for that Tier 2 subscription for 43 months, Joypop. You are insane. Very important, Palmer. Very impressive, Mr. Vandy Pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. They need to get to 420 now. They might, actually. Because if the pattern continues on as they've talked about it, which is 4.6 in January, 4.7 in March, 4.8 in May, 4.9 in June, 4.10 in August, 4.11 in October, 4.12 in December. So yeah, we'd have 4.12 in December. And then we'd see how the rest goes. We'll see. Like, it sounds like my guess is that CIG is going to front load the 4.x patches with like the month patch, the one it releases in a month. They're gonna front load those with features, and then they're gonna do like each of those patches is gonna have other things as part of it, but they're going to lock it behind a time wall, and then they'll unlock those other things like a month later. Like they said, they're not going to have the mining and salvage missions done until February. There won't be a patch for February. It'll just be February. It's not a decimal number. It's an x.y.z numbering scheme. X equals major milestone, y equals feature drop, z equals hotfix or content drop. There would be no December patch. I'm trying to think about it, because there's going to be one in January. There'll be one in March, May, June. No, July. Yeah, you're right. July, September, November. Yeah, November would be the last patch. May, July, yeah. You're right. I said May, June. They're next to each other. Holy shit, maybe this year is going to be the best year ever for Star Citizen. CIG is not doing a fucking December patch. Holla fucking Luya. Hey, Logarthan. Fuck. All right. I think I can just do this. Nope. This is a server error. Letting me get out. Yep, it's a rare. We'll get new systems with Genesis, but not 5.0 because of the new system. Exactly. December patch, December 21st will be a launch of Squadron 42. No. CIG is going to launch it in October. Because there's no October patch. There's a November patch and a September patch. So the September patch will be the CitizenCon patch, and then they'll launch Star Citizen or Squadron in October. CIG significantly has significant issues with Well, that's funny, Darsh. Someone just did a backspace express right in front of me at Orison, just keeled over, and an NPC goes, "Dispatch, there's a body." Hey, Byron. How's you doing, Q-Pen? So, like, CNG seems to have significant issues with, like, major groups of people. Like, when there's a huge number of people who hop onto onto the game, their servers suffer. Like, this is probably now one of the bigger issues at CIG. It's always been an issue, but it seems to be, like, more pronounced. There's still the problem of it works on my machine, where, like, it'll work for some people, but not others. That's been slowly whittling down to becoming less and less of a problem. But, like, this problem still persists. Because there's Daymar Rally going on, the whole server at backend is fucked. I guarantee that. And the guards went on high alert looking for aggressive. That's the reason why those guards get super fucking crazy and people start, like, freaking out, is because people backspace. That makes sense. 1.0 or 1.0 item system tier 1 is going to change all of that because it's going to remove your ability to backspace. Your backspace will be taken away, and so many people are going to lose their goddamn minds. Things been looking good, tackling some housework while I listen to the stream. This is, if you're in the United States, especially if you're in, like, the eastern half-ish of the United States. Oh, I'm back. Today's a good day to getting interior chores done. It's probably not leaving much. Yeah, they do need to give us an unstuck. If they if they take away the backspace, they need to do an unstuck command. People will still carry backspaces in their backpacks, sorry, grenades. True, but with item system tier 1, you don't respawn with your stuff. You lose your stuff when you die. Even in armistice zones, I think they'll just remove your stuff. So you'll have to claim your stuff at the location, and there'll be a time delay before your stuff comes back. Is there a possible snowstorm in Texas? What do you mean the possible snowstorm? There is going to be a snowstorm in Texas. Right now, yeah, it's negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit in Wisconsin. Fahrenheit. That's like negative 50 Celsius or some shit like that. Right now, let me check up the weather in Austin. It's 2 degrees Celsius, 36 degrees Fahrenheit here. And by tonight, by the time the captain's table is over, it will be negative 1 degrees Celsius. And that's when we start getting our rain, snow, a 50% chance of rain and snow. And then it's going to go on until 4 a.m. when it's 3 degrees Celsius. And then the rain snow stops at 4 a.m. and then we'll continue on into the next day. But our high on Sunday is 1 degree Celsius. Low is 6 degrees. So the snow will melt, but the water will remain and the ice will freeze over. So it's just a matter of, like, it's going to be icy on Sunday morning, and it's going to be a matter of how well it does, because, like, from then on, holy fuck, we're getting another goddamn rainstorm in Saturday. Next Saturday. Basically, there's only one day between now and Friday that that the low is above freezing. as I always like to say, because people are like, well, that's not that cold. It's colder. Like, I've lived in colder conditions. I know it's not that cold. It's like I said on the office hours, I went snow camping in Mount Shasta, where the temperatures dropped below freezing. But like, it was like 15 degrees below zero Fahrenheit or some shit like that. It's been like you will die if you stay out too long. And I camped in that fucking weather. So like, I understand that's not that cold. The issue is that nothing here is designed for that cold. We're designed for 120 degrees Fahrenheit, you know, like basically 50 degrees Celsius. That is what we're designed for. And in some cases that works well. The house that I live in, because of insulation for heat, the insulation against heat works the same way as insulation for cold. It just, our heat pumps aren't designed to work in a similar manner. I lost my my third person.
Landing gear down.
But who could have predicted that? Well, that's the problem about having one of the most corrupt local governments, state governments in the history of the planet. They don't care about anything but helping oil companies out. The best friend of the governor, one of the best friends of the governor, literally controls most of the natural gas reserves in the country. And cold weather is just fucking buku for him, because most of our heating and cooling systems are built off of gas, natural gas, rather than electricity. As a public bus driver, almost as bad as 21 Paul. Oh no, I remember that. I bought my house in 2020, and a year later we were like, okay, how do we fucking survive? It's not going to be nearly as bad as 2021. It's just going to suck ass for 2 days. In the 50s, 70s, when most of these homes were built, there was no need for air conditioning. That's true. I'm lucky enough that my house was built in the 2000s. It was built in like the 2010s. So it's fairly new. Like I'm only the like second person to ever lived in this house. Oh, in Seattle. Yeah, no, I grew up on the West Coast. You didn't have AC units on the coast. It was too mild for it to ever have issues like that. Of course, this breaks. Alright, well. It's easier for me to do this. And cancel the contract. So glad CIG still hasn't fixed the same fucking problem that was happening last August. Twitch was having bad time around the same time range as CIG servers. So it could be, yeah, it could be. All right, I'm gonna crash out here for a moment, chat. We've had a lot of outages recently of internet services, and I can only fucking like venture to guess why we've had so many outages recently. And a lot of people are going, "Oh, America is the pariah of the world currently, so it's probably just getting fucking attacked by cyber attacks." And my other thought is, yeah, that makes sense, but never attribute malice, which could be attributed to stupidity or to dumb shit. And the one thing that we've been having recently is that Windows 11 has gone from bad to being hot ass because Microsoft is just vibe coding Windows now. So my own thought is, are these fucking companies vibe coding their backend? Are they doing new patches and updates through vibe coding? Is that why all this shit is breaking? Is that why AWS sucks now? Is because they're vibe coding their backend? I fucking hate clankers. I've never been more happy in the last 3 years, years, than when I heard that OpenAI going, we're gonna fucking lose, we're going out of business in 2 years unless we get a lot of money. My thought is, oh, thank fucking Christ, it's almost over. It's almost over. It's gonna pop. So many things are gonna go to shit, but I won't have to fucking deal with this shit anymore. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, vibe coding just means have an AI do it for you. And again, I'm not anti-AI. I think it's a tool that can be used very effectively, especially certain types of AI, like machine learning. But dear fucking Christ, do I hate what it's been doing to everything, especially my hobbies. Yeah, it's like cutting off a fucking limb. At this point, that limb is gangrenous. If we keep letting it stick around, it could kill the whole body.
Landing gear out.
Yeah, no, that's like, I am anti-AI. I just don't hate AI. Like, I can see its value, but its current value is not worth the cost. Electricity is going up, jobs are being lost, people's livelihoods are being stolen, people are dying, people are turning to AI to help them and are fucking committing suicide or getting bad, like, it's just, there's enough bad shit already for us to, like, you know, people going insane, AI psychosis. There's, like, the net positives are way outweighed by the net negatives entirely. Hey, Garth. So excuse my crash out when I say fuck clankers, fuck AI, fuck anyone who's promoting AI exclusively, fuck Microsoft, fuck OpenAI, fuck Amazon, fuck all of them. I've been trying not to be a douchebag about it, because every time you talk about AI, someone goes, well, I use AI effectively. And I'm like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the whole goddamn system. It's me saying fuck clankers, and don't actually fuck clankers. The Space Pope would be very, very disappointed in you. AI-induced psychosis, yeah. I was waiting on Starson to get VR support before I bought a new PC, but the 5080 to never came out, and the GPU costs are insane because of AI. Yep. Hell, the CIG devs for sure use AI. Not from my experience. I know a lot of CIG devs in sort of like a tangential form, like, you know, I know their social medias and like on their personal opinions, and most of these folks are pretty high up there. They've been there for a very long time, and all of them are anti-AI. There's a handful I know who've used AI, but they use AI in their own personal projects, not on the project themselves. And it's more of a like, hey, I want this to do this thing, and then I'm going to go back and fix it later. Jin, I know Jin's used it before. Who's in chat, who's used it for his own projects and stuff like that. But it's like, it's kind of like a tool. Like, I've used it in the past to help me with building out a emergency lesson plan. Like, I had a lesson that I've done forever, but I didn't have it in a way that like a substitute teacher who's like a long-term sub needed it. So there was actually a tool that I discovered that would take your lesson materials and translate it into a lesson plan that could be followed. So I used it, and it worked pretty effectively. This was like 2 years ago. But since then, man, fuck. It's just gotten worse. I'm not going to listen to me screeching about AI, but yeah. Having the gunner DBL as ENG works, but not in the middle of a fight when you need him shooting. Yeah, that's a good point. When it comes to like combat stuff. Yeah, and machine learning and LLMs are not the same thing. Machine learning has been around for like decades. I wish there was something that was easier to use, that was more heavily supported. The problem being right now is Linux still has some problems with kernel level anti-cheat. Yeah, whenever I hear somebody be like, oh, well, AI just did this. And my thought is, which version? Which type? We talking LLMs or machine learning? And like 9 times out of 10, when it's like, oh my God, AI just did this, it was machine learning. I'm like, okay, so an expert system did this. Like something that's designed specifically to do this did this. Cool. That's been the case since like the 60s, guys. It's just easier to be like AI, and then that just gets headlines. Thank you, Bike. Or Bic. Can Star Citizen run on Linux? There are people who've managed to make Star Citizen run on Linux, but it is not an easy process. There's like, you have to go through a guide to get it to work in. Can you install Star Citizen on Linux? Yes, that's actually not the hard part. The hard part is easy anti-cheat. Easy anti-cheat does not play well with Star Citizen or with Linux. The Steam OS is just a version of another operating system that already exists. I forgot what it's called. But that one doesn't work with Star Citizen as far as I know. Not out of the box. Could you give me a fucking hanger, please? Bazite, yes, yes. But not based off it. Man, if Steam actually released SteamOS as an operating system that people could download. There's been that rumor in the past, they said no, but I mean, Microsoft would be done. It is, it's not. Not as far as we know, it's not being released as a standalone. There was rumors that it was, but they pulled back from it. So like the Steam machines will have Steam OS installed on it natively, but that's the same thing that's installed on Steam Deck. God damn, Star Citizen is so broken today. All right, what I'm going to do is the old school method. So chat, especially if Grimhex is not letting you in, here's the secret. There are multiple entrances to Grimhex. There's the entrance down here. And there's the entrance over here. This is the old school entrance that they still haven't gotten rid of. These are just the pads.
Landing gear down.
Live servers, yeah. Yeah, that's a good instinct that Star Citizen will be broken until February-ish. Next week is when they were going to release 4.6, so. Why? Because it's the end of the month. The patch always pushes. I've heard that the PTU is doing okay right now. It just needs to get hammered a little bit more. So here's the airlock. They updated the airlock. And now I'm in. When is Workers Week? What do you mean Workers Week?
Please visit us at Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your insurance claim has been sent.
I heard some things yesterday that the patch in PTU was holding up pretty well. The current one, the latest one they did. Wasn't there a mini event around industrial gameplay? Not really. Not a regular mini event. There has been events around industrial gameplay in the past, but not like Workers Week or anything like that. That'd be kind of cool. They should do a Mayday event. That'd be neat.
Please visit us again. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Please proceed to sidebar.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
I have a hanger now? Okay. Each patch degrades after 24 hours. That's true too. But also depends on how many people are actually hitting the patch. Especially with PTU, that rarely happens. Thank you, Northern Hermit. I like that they still have that.
Landing complete. Have a business to say.
There we go. For 4-6, even with minimal population, there's a significant degradation. It seems to be related to the event. Crafting space drugs when? Probably shortly after the first version of crafting comes out. I don't know why I have a diaper suit here. Just gotta wait it out, chat. I'm gonna go get some water. But live was also degraded, and even the issue council had issues last weekend. Reddit was saying the mobile crafting station is the final reward for the new event. Probably. You'll be able to buy them though. All right, be right back. All right. Thank you, SPG. Water, 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 water. Hey, didn't fuck up. Briefly considers firing off my resub alert. Alright, let's see if this works.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
CMDR_Shadow Stealth just resubscribed for 25 months. Glorious.
Thank you so much for that. Was that 35 months? Let's see. 25 months of support. You're very important, Pupper. Very impressive. You're very pedestrian. This is your fault. There's your guy. Trust and cheers and chat. Y'all trust and cheers. Yeah, my cargo elevators aren't working at all. So I might have to just chat for a bit rather than try to do any missions. You basically can't play Star Citizen right now, just at all. You haven't really been able to play Star Citizen since November. How's the weather? It's cold. It's rainy and cold. I'll wait for this to fail, and then we'll call it. Oh, the mobile crafting is probably just a different paint job. Yeah, it's probably just a different color. Ugh. Yeah, I know. It sucks. You know something I noticed? Glaring lack of Star Citizen? Dual wielding. Yeah, true. It's that pesky but entertaining rally going on. I don't think it's the rally. I think it's just because there were problems with the backend last weekend. Very similarly. It's just that there's something wrong with Star Citizen's backend. You've got rain and you're annoyed by this. I've got rain and it's going to freeze. Starting to snow here in Tennessee. It's been pretty bad. My wife's family is from Tennessee, West Tennessee, and they were talking about how there was a lot of snow build up there, and it's going to get worse. Though my mom and my sister live in East Tennessee, and they wasn't supposed to be that bad, which is weird because it's the Appalachians usually dump snow when they get them. The plateau usually gets a lot of snow. I don't miss snow. Still snowing here in Oklahoma? Yeah. It's worse the more north you get. All right, we're gonna do this. Let's talk combat. I know not all of you are combat folks, but let's talk a little bit about combat currently as the game functions. Because my experience from combat is that it's okay. It's not much different than it has been for the last couple of years. And I'm talking about ship-based combat, not FPS. I think FPS is a completely different conversation. When I say combat, I mean ship combat, space combat. What other methods of moving, traveling, coming to Star Citizen in the future? I don't think we're going to see much more than I forgot what they're calling it. It's not the wandering, but the tiny temporary jump tunnels that exist. Holy shit. I don't have enough time to do them, but it actually took 2 of them. Let's see if I can get all of them. Slam. It's also fucking up because it's only showing me 2 things of slam and I think 2 things of neon. There's no, or ETAM. 1 thing of ETAM. There's no neon at all. I just got in game and my power went out north here in North Austin. Yeah. Something about ship combat? I don't think it's changed that much, honestly, over the last couple of patches. Over the last couple years, actually. Stay safe, stay warm. Are CAG developing the second chapter of Squadron? Did they start development after release? I think there's at least some of it may have already been started. The thing is, they already have the script for the entire 3 chapters for the trilogy. It's already been done. So, Squadron has been done at least in a written form for a while, because they were originally planning to do it all at once, and then they split it up. I think the split up happened right before they did the coverage, and obviously some things will change in writing as things go along, but especially with the split. But I think generally speaking, it's we're likely to start see Squadron 42 Chapter 2 be released, or starting its development, I would say 6 months after the release of Squadron 42 Part 1, Chapter 1. It feels the same to me for a while. Yeah, flight models have changed a few, but the average experience I have with ship combat is pretty much the same. I'm sure there's some little small tweaks that have changed, especially for people who are hyper aware and experience combat more frequently. Thank you, Apollinosis. See if it actually gave me anything. Nope, it gave me nothing. All right. Well, I'm just gonna do this. I mainly do ship combat in groups, though. I don't do a lot of solo ship combat. I'm more of an FPS guy, though. I do spend a lot of time flying with friends or being in turrets of friends' ships. How's the game treating you? I'm being played by Star Citizen. There's some days you play Star Citizen, sometimes Star Citizen plays you. Today is a Star Citizen playing me day. We get better odds than we used to. Yeah, that's for sure. Sorry, I'm just sort of glancing at the world burning right now. But generally, I think the main problem with combat as it stands now is that there is still no emphasis for multi-crew gameplay. Despite there being more multi-crew ships than ever, and in theory, ships that should be much better for multi-crew, there isn't an incentive or a reason to crew those ships. In fact, it makes a lot more sense to solo those larger ships than to crew them. PvE, it's not too bad. Multi-crew ships are okay, but it's more of a gameplay fun thing than an actual necessity. There's no advantage to multi-crewing a ship. Whereas with PvP, there's like absolutely no advantage for multi-crew. It's light fighter meta across the board. So like right now, combat seems like it's okay in the sense that it hasn't really changed much, despite the hemming and hawing and the whining from folks about master modes. I don't think combat's really changed that much since master modes. So, and engineering did not do the thing that we thought it was going to do for multi-crew. So it's at this point, it's more of a, what can CIG do to improve this? And I don't know what they can do in 2026 other than nerf the fuck out of ships that people like. But then people get mad because they're like, I spent $400 on this ship. And it's like, yeah, well, it's not supposed to be this good. Or buff the fuck out of combat or bigger ships. Like, I don't think Yogi is a bad developer. I think Yogi is a guy who has a lot of things that he has to deal with that are not all... there's a lot of things out of his hands that he has to make. He's given a shit sandwich and told to make it fucking good. And it's like, with what? Oh, we'll give you all these other tools, but we won't give you those tools in game to actually have the players play it for like a year. So it's like, all right, what the fuck am I going to do? So he's trying to polish a turd, waiting for everything else to come in. But at the same time, I feel like Yogi doesn't care about what the actual reality of the things are. Like the multiple combat pilots I've talked to who are interested in seeing multi-crew gameplay shine have all delivered solutions, which seems like Yogi just does not care about. So I don't want to shit on a developer for doing his job, which is not an easy job, which you're never going to make everybody happy with. But what I will say is that there always seems to be some solutions to the problem, which most people who are highly connected to those things have agreed these are the problems and these are solutions to those problems. And it feels like a lot of that is just ignored because it doesn't fit with what the developers care to see. So when they say we want multi-crew ships, but then continue to fuck over multi-crew ship gameplay, it feels like, well, you don't actually give a shit. You just want light fighter meta. So today is going to be a bitch fest? No. Anytime I say anything negative for like more than 2 minutes, Jin's like, oh, well, we're just gonna do a fucking... Paul Shelley's just gonna do his do negative. He's just gonna go like, no. I think there is a problem there. There is a disconnect there in the immediacy. But down the line, the question is, how does combat evolve? And my answer is Halo. No, combat evolved. I think combat evolves. Personally, I think it evolves with crafting. I think crafting is going to be the biggest change to combat because I don't think we're going to see much change. I think they're planning on doing it seems like they're planning on doing a tech preview of like the new changes to combat in terms of like flight. And that might have some impact, but I think the biggest impact is going to be crafting because crafting will make it so that if you know somebody who is a good crafter, you will always have a better weapon. Isn't armor supposed to resolve the light fighter meta? It technically should, but we don't know when armor is going to be introduced. Because as far as I understand, armor is going to be introduced specifically with Maelstrom. And Maelstrom, we don't know when that's coming in. True, multi-crew gameplay should have large edge. I play with friends because it's fun, but we can clear hostiles much faster if we're all doing individual ships, which makes no sense. Yes. Hope they put a midi fridge in one day. That'd be nice. For what? For oh, for okay, I get what you're saying. Like stuff. Yeah. Have you heard anything about Maelstrom recently? As of 6 months ago, they said that Maelstrom is in Star Citizen. It's just not activated. As far as I understand, Maelstrom is an engineering level issue where they have to activate it throughout every single ship. And that's not a difficult, but it's just time consuming. And they have some edge issues where, like, some ships which weren't built with Maelstrom in mind, which is a lot of them, most of them, may not fucking act properly. So, and I'm sure it has to do with, like, the back end supporting it, because a Maelstrom is the process of not just having ships get blown to pieces, but having more tiny pieces exist. And so I'm wondering if Maelstrom is only viable when dynamic server meshing is in, when they can spin up and spin down servers based off of load. Okay, well, I hope they get armor right. Armor is so important because it is one of those things that could tip the balance to larger, heavier ships, where, like, basically, for those of you who don't know, and this is pretty popular, so this may be something that most of y'all know, but the idea behind armor is that armor makes it so that light fighters can't even tickle heavier ships because they're light fighters, and they'll only be able to carry certain scale weapons, and those scale weapons don't actually penetrate the armor of larger ships. So they can deal damage to other things and maybe be able to attack systems like shield generator or shield emitters or other weapons, like taking on like PDCs or other weapon emplacements, but they won't actually be able to do physical damage beyond that. So, and that becomes a little bit more difficult because now then light fighters actually have to get in close to be able to aim, which means that puts them in range of weapon systems that can take them down. And I will say, no matter what CIG does, people will complain. If they make it so that light fighters cannot hurt bigger ships, there will be so many people who get super pissed because they'll be like, well, CIG said that this was going to be It's like, no, fuck you. It's about making the game fun. Thank you, Tico. Or Teiko. So it's going to be interesting to see how things work, though, because I think this year is so going to be heavily focused on features. I don't know how much features are going to actually be combat facing. Obviously, if they get the new flight system in that they've been working on, it might work. But I don't have enough experience with flight at that level to really understand it. So that's why we have Raptor X and Bops to talk about those sorts of things. But the goal of what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to talk about combat as it is now, combat as it might be in the near future, so in the next 6 months, and then combat by the end of the 2026, and then beyond that. Like, what is combat looking like at 1.0? What is space combat looking like? Take that, space combat. Thank you, Trouble Magnet. Yeah, I'm for fun gameplay 100%. I feel like CIG forgets that this is supposed to be fun sometimes. They're just gonna have to find a niche. And sometimes that niche is gonna fall out of what people expect of the game. Like, a lot of people want DCS, and Star Citizen may fall out of the DCS, sim realm if they need to go for fun. The problem is that space as a concept doesn't exist, but space fighters as a concept doesn't actually make a lot of sense in real world. So you can't really sim space fighters because of the distance for engagements in space is so much larger. So you have to sort of artificially limit it so that space fighters make sense. And by then you're already breaking sim. So why not add this or that or the other thing? And every space game does that. No exception. Every space game does that if they have space fighters. There are, but things like saying anyone who that doesn't have a relationship with the crafter is going to be massively disadvantaged in combat based off a single tech preview. That's never had any balance. It's kind of jumping the gun and a little hysterical. I mean, based off of the tech preview though, is what we really have. Will there be balance? For sure, but I don't think CIG can make crafting not viable. They have to make crafting viable. And then for crafting to be viable, they have to keep up this sort of 15% fire rate bonus, which will definitely improve gameplay. There's no balancing at that point. Even if it's just 2%, there's no balancing, because that will give an advantage, and somebody who has that advantage will win. There are some other factors like groups of people and who shoots first and all sorts of those other sort of factors, but those factors aren't really what we're looking at when we talk about those 13% improvement rates. Yeah, and CIG has said in multiple ways, multiple times, crafted items will be much better than anything being able to be bought. So either craft or be weak. That's been the message consistently since they've talked about crafting. Since 2024, was that crafting is the end game, and you will have an advantage if you craft. And that advantage is will be determined by the material quality, and the types of material you use. It might change what that advantage is, so there's a little bit more nuance. But in all of those cases, you still need the crafted weapons and items. I know, I was there. Yeah. So it's not just a matter of one tech preview. It's the intent of the developers, plus the tech preview, plus the continued emphasis on these things. That it's sort of you're going to have a relationship with crafters, miners, or figure it out yourself if you want to have the meta, which is what most PvP players focus on, is the meta.
Fastcard just resubscribed for 24 months. Thanks to @o_lefty for my sub gift.
Thank you so much for that. 3 months of support so far out of 12. Fastcard, you're very important, Papa, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This your father return drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Maybe I'm objecting more to the hyperbole. I'm thinking at it from I have in the past known a lot of PvP players. I used to do a lot of PvP in the Arena Commander days, and a lot of those same folks are still doing PvP. And the mentality of that group is very much every advantage you can get is fair game. And if the advantage exists, utilize it to the maximum capacity so that you can win every conflict. Be it your reaction speed, be it your control input, be it your equipment, your ship, doesn't matter. What matters is who wins and who doesn't. The people who talk about pay to win are people who are talking about PvP. That is not a Venn diagram, that is a circle at this point. So when I say if you are participating in combat, and by that I mean generally PvP, because that's the only time it would really matter if you have advantage or not, because NPCs will not give a shit. They probably won't have anything like that. You will be at a disadvantage in PvP when it comes to those things. And so it will become a requirement for PvPers to get to know Bobs, which is what they call folks who aren't PvPers and aren't interested in it. It was the same as Star Wars Galaxies. The PvP people didn't have a problem with it. They were always looking for superior weapons. Yes, but Star Wars Galaxies never came out to say it was trying to be a space simulator. That's my point. A lot of these folks who participate in PvP are also the kind of crowd that's like, I want DCS in space. This game should be a space sim. Do you remember when this game was a space sim? It's now arcadey. It's now floaty. It's now not about skill. It's just about what you have. And like, that's my point. It's like there's that crossover. That's a little bit more of a Venn diagram. That crossover is important to nail because those people will get upset. The elitists, the loudest of the crowd. I guarantee you, those are the people who will be commenting that Star Citizen is dead in the video when I release it, or in the chat when we're talking about combat, because of stuff like that. They will show up. The Sweatmasters and the Spectrum posters, yes. I think that most of those groups will not care. Most of the groups who are active groups, like Avenger Squadron, they don't give a fuck. Like, they'll just go find people they know, because most of those people are friends with other people who are non-combat players, and they want that. They're like, oh, a reason for me to go interact with a non-combat crew? Fucking great. I can go give them escorts, and they can help me build me some better shit. I can take the random shit I find and go talk to these boys, and they can be like, "Ooh, yes, the 780 quality iron. I can make quite the doozy out of this." You know, they want that sort of shit because that's just fun. But there will be a subset, and I think a lot of folks who are especially solo PvP sweatlords who will or small groups who will have issues with this. I have my own tribe that wants to craft. Why would I go to PvE Andy? Just make the higher tiers of crafted stuff have diminishing returns. People will still chase it for the prestige of having the best, even if it's only 2% better. A whole lot of PvP crowd wants arcade. They long for arcade. They still pine for the 2.6. Higher tier will be miles ahead of lower tier. Yes. Now there will come a day when crafting is in and everyone will have their crafted gear. Everyone will. So the only people who won't are new players, and they'll be able to get it pretty quickly because a lot of these orgs and groups will have stockpiles of the best gear. As a mob, I say screw the Sweatlords. They can sweat it out in Arena Commander and other games. Why I was saying it has a lot to do with more of a warning. Like this is going to change how combat is. Fundamentally, will change how combat is. I think that's going to be the biggest change. Positive or negative, I find it a positive. I know other people find it a negative, but it's like keeping up with the Joneses, baby. You're gonna have to do it. Hey, never wrecked. Thank you. Speaking of, we've got Bops here. Bops, we're going to start in about a couple minutes here. Bops is going to be here for the discussion. It's Raptor X and Bops talking combat, space combat. Hey, Clown. I'm not calling someone a clown. They literally, their name is Clown. Thank you, Parky. Salvage my focus and crafting will be allowed Khajiit to sell his wares for coin. Yeah. No, there's definitely some in there. I am interested to hear what the rest of the panel has to say about combat and its changes throughout the year. Because I want people to like express their hopes, but I also want to like, because I don't follow closely enough how some of these things might change space combat. Space combat is my blind spot. It's the one thing that I don't do enough of, so I don't pay attention to it enough. But I still participate in it every so often. Mostly PvE, though I've done PvP here and there. All right. I'm gonna take a few minutes. I'm gonna use the restroom. When I come back, we'll get started on. I will pull up the guests. We'll get started with the captain's table. All right. Captain's table. Neat. Who won the bike?